Michelle Paver, and also special welcome to Enskedeskolan, class 6C. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for your great work. You traveled all the way from Stockholm to Gothenburg to be here today. Och jag kommer prata både svenska och engelska, så att jag vet att ni förstår engelska, men så att alla förstår också vikten av det här programmet som vi har framför oss. Vi har 30-40 minuter. Hello, I'm back. And with us today, we have the reading ambassador, Johan Unnänge, läsambassadören. And also we have the Mediterranean Museum here in Sweden, Medelhavsmuseet, Undra Pettersson. And of course we have the school children here. But first of all, I would like to say welcome to the reading ambassador, Johan Unnänge. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That was very polite.
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Okay, I have this word. You know what it's about. I mean, that kids are not reading like they used to do, like they did in the 70s, and it's declining, and the numbers are really depressing. So I'm very interested in books that make kids actually read, and your books is that kind of books that everyone wants to turn the pages. Obviously, you know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I was thinking about, you're very interested in research. It's a very important part of your process when writing.
Yeah.
Why is it so important to you?
Well, the thing about my books is I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm not trying to say, look, children, this is what it was like in the Bronze Age. I just want to make the books as exciting as possible. My aim is to make you read them and not want to put them down. And to do that, I want to make it real. It needs to feel that you are having the adventure in this world with Torak and Ren, or with Hylas and Pyrrha. And so I try to do what they do. So if Hylas is going to swim with dolphins, I try to do that. Delphine, yeah. If Torak makes friends with wolves, I make friends with wolves. So I do that, and then I can describe what it's like for you. That's the reason I do the research.
Right. It makes it more interesting for you to write it as well.
It is also really fun.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about dolphins now, but
all right.
It's great, I guess.
Yeah.
But since you said that, you don't want the kids to put the books down, but all over Europe, kids are putting their books down in great numbers now.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a problem, and why is this a problem, that reading is going down? Do you think about this?
I do sometimes. I have to say, I tend to meet children like you who actually do read, so I'm very encouraged, and I meet great teachers and librarians who help. I think the thing is, if you don't learn, reading is a skill. You know, you can all get into a book, you know what I mean. You get into a book, and then you're in there. If you don't learn that when you're small, when you grow up, you can't do it. And then the world is grey, it's boring. Much more boring than if you could get into books. So I think it's really important if people, perhaps like me, others, can write really exciting stories, and then if you get into them, then maybe you'll continue to read.
Is that your recipe for getting kids into reading?
You know, I don't really think about that. I know you do, because that's your job.
All the time. So I want to.
So you
I hope you had some advice from me.
No, I don't. No, I don't. You see, I write. I'm very ruthless. I just think about my characters and my story, and I hope that will get children into reading. But I'm not a teacher. I'm not a librarian. I don't know how to do these things.
No.
But I remember being 10. I remember being a child, and I remember being 12. And I remember what I wanted.
Right.
What I wanted was a wolf. I wanted to live in the Stone Age or the Bronze Age. I wanted magic.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. I was actually thinking about your book in the Swedish called Bronsdolken.
Yeah.
Where we can follow the dolphins swimming and what he's thinking about, and he's a very philosophical dolphin. I guess, or maybe it's just an ordinary dolphin. I don't know.
I think they probably are quite philosophical.
But you get into the dolphin's brain as well as the kids.
Yeah.
And the boy and the girl in the story.
Yes.
That's very funny, of course, for me to read.
Yeah.
Do you have animals yourself at home?
No, I don't have. People say, do I have a wolf or do I have a dog?
Yeah.
No, because I do so much traveling. You know, 2 months ago for the second book in Bronsdolken, I was climbing a volcano. So you know, I don't have any animals. I'm friends with some wolves. I've swum with dolphins. So I like to get close to the animals I write about.
Yeah.
But if I had one, you know, they wouldn't understand if I went away.
I was a little curious that when you have a spirit in everything that you have in this book, and everything is alive in some sense.
Yes.
I wonder if that affects your way of seeing the world. You know, that do you actually think this a little? I mean, working with this kind of world all the time.
Yes.
Makes you maybe you know, transform into something else.
Well, when
everything alive?
When you're writing, you become what you're writing about.
No.
So when I'm a dolphin, I'm a dolphin. When I was wolf, I would go, ow, ow, you know, howl in my study. So yes, when I'm Hylas, I'm a boy from the Bronze Age.
Right.
So then I believe that everything has a spirit.
But you switch it off when you're just ordinary day?
I do a bit, but it makes you more aware of nature.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, much more aware. And animals as individuals. Are you able to follow this? Are you just about, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No problem. No.
Okay.
Okay, I think that was my last question. I know that you have some collaboration now. Swedish Museum, which is taking the best parts of your book and making the fiction into facts. It's a very nice way of, I mean, even if that's not your aim, to teach kids, this is the way it works, I guess. Reading your story makes you curious about the real world. And
well, that's what I'm so pleased about, because I'm not trying to teach, but I do make it accurate.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of research about the archaeology. The dagger is a kind of Mycenaean dagger, you know, so it's all got to be right.
Yep.
So it's great that the museum approves and thinks I got it reasonably okay.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. Yeah. And I love the fact that the story can help maybe some of you maybe get interested in ancient Greece or ancient Egypt, because it is amazing, or the Stone Age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now it's time for the class to do their part of this.
Yes.
Good luck with your next part of the Bronsdolken.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okej, innan vi ska prata lite mer om vad ni barn har gjort och hjälpt oss med här på förlaget, så ska Michelle Paver read some in the beginning of her book. So I want everybody to pay attention, because this is a book where it kickstarts from the very beginning, the first page. You're not
actually,
from the first page.
I'm not on the first page.
No. It's very intriguing all the way.
There you go. It's just a surprise.
Thank you, Mr. Reading Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Now, I thought I'd read you just a little bit from the middle. You, I know you've all read the story, but those of you who haven't, you don't need to know the story, but basically it's a boy called Hylas. It's in ancient Greece. He's running away from his enemies, and at the bit I'm going to read, he's adrift in a small boat in the middle of the Mediterranean, and suddenly something is about to appear next to him in the sea, and it's not a dolphin, it's a shark. Haia? A haia? A shark, yeah. The monster lay just beneath the surface on the other side of the boat. In one appalling heartbeat, Hylas took in its pointed fin and its sickle-shaped jaws, its fathomless black eye. Once, the wise woman had told him that there were 2 tribes of giant fish in the sea, dolphins and sharks. If you ever meet one, she'd said, you'd better pray it's a dolphin. Dolphins are sacred, and they don't eat people. Sharks do. Hylas had asked how you told them apart, and the wise woman had cackled. A shark never smiles, and its hide is rough as granite. But if you've got that close, it's too late. Hylas didn't need to touch that flinty hide to be sure that this was a shark. No hunter he'd ever seen in the mountains, no lion or bear or wolf had such a stare. There was no light in it. It was a pit opening on chaos, on the yawning void where even the gods fear to tread. With contemptuous ease, the shark flexed its massive tail and slid beneath the boat. Hylas waited. The shark did not reappear. It might be anywhere.
Thank you.
There we go. We have to leave it with the shark circling Hylas, but you probably guessed he sort of survives, because there are 5 books in the series.
Ja, vi på förlaget insåg ju väldigt snabbt när vi läste manus om Michelle Pavers nya bok att det här var ju fantastiskt, att man kan genom en roman eller en novell och skildra de här barnens liv komma i sån stark kunskapstörst av historien. Hur var det alltså att leva på bronsåldern? Och en viktig nyckel till att lyckas få barn att fortsätta läsa upp i åldrarna och skapa en törst till kunskap och läsande, både fiktion och non-fiktion, så kände vi att här måste vi integrera barn i rätt ålder. Och som ett resultat av ert fantastiska arbete så har vi nu en färdig lärarhandledning. Det låter ni jättetråkigt, tycker ni. Men för att andra klasser runt om i Sverige ska också kunna få ta del av det här roliga arbetet. Att man alltså ursprungligen, alltså man läser romanen och där får man massa kunskap då om historien, om hur det var att leva på bronsåldern. Så kan man alltså på svenskan och i religionen och i historien då, och i bild ta fram olika delar i lärarplanen som man kan jobba med det här. Och det har vi gjort, och vi har också tagit ett steg längre. Och här med oss också är Medelhavsmuseet. The Mediterranean Museum is also here today, and they are also going to let us know how they're going to work with a Bronze Age theme. And regarding the welcome up on stage, Gundela Pettersson.
Hej allihop och hej Enskedeskolan. Jättekul att ses igen. Vi sågs ju för 2 veckor sedan på museet. Kommer ni ihåg det? Ni fick ju komma dit som en provklass kan man säga. Eftersom ni har jobbat så mycket med boken. Ni är ju de enda som har läst boken hittills. Kommer ni ihåg vad ni gjorde för något då? Vad fick ni se för något? Är det någon som kommer ihåg? Du kommer ihåg vad du såg? Olika gudar. Ja, olika gudar fick ni titta på. Olika pilspetsar och dolkar. Ni fick göra dolkar, ja det ser vi ju här. Här ligger ju resultatet här framme. Vad fick ni göra mer då? Jag får nästan gå till dig med mikrofonen tror jag. Det kanske jag inte kan. Säg högre. Ni fick se offergåvor, eller hur? Och mer. Och göra skarabéer, och de ligger här mellan dolkarna. Vad är det för någonting då? För alla här som inte vet vad en skarabé är för något. Precis, en slags amulett som skyddar mot andar. To protect. Yeah. Vi tyckte att det var jätteroligt att ni kom till museet, och det var ju, vi provade ju att titta på precis de här sakerna som ni sa, som också finns i boken som Michelle beskriver. Och utifrån det så har vi satt ihop ett spår, så de som inte har möjlighet att komma på en visning på Medelhavsmuseet, de kan få den här i receptionen, och sen kan de gå runt och så kan de leta efter våra pappersdolkar runt om i museet. Och så kan man svara på frågor och fundera lite kring hur barnen i boken levde. Hylas och Pira och Isse. Det tyckte vi var jätteroligt, och ni ska ha stort tack för att ni var med och hjälpte oss med det. Sen tycker vi att det har varit väldigt roligt att Semik tog den här kontakten med oss, satte ihop oss med Enskedeskolan. Och det leder också till att vi på höstlovet kommer ha olika aktiviteter på museet, visningar och möjlighet för alla som kommer att göra sådana här dolkar. Det tycker vi ska bli väldigt roligt också, tycker jag. Så jag är väldigt glad att jag har fått komma hit idag. Jag har tagit med mig några sådana här ex. Jag kommer stå här vid sidan av sen, så om ni i klassen vill ha några stycken eller om det är några andra som är nyfikna på vad Medelhavsmuseet gör tillsammans med skönlitteratur, så är ni också välkomna att ta del av det här. För oss är ju det här ett fantastiskt ingångsvärde till historien. Att få spänning, nyfikenhet. Ja, det är verkligen en page-turner. Man läser och läser. Och därmed så hoppas vi också att det blir lika roligt och spännande att komma till museet och se allting som finns i boken in real life.
Yes, I think I understood that.
Thank you so much, Gundula. Thank you. I just want to tell that this teacher's pack, lärarhandledningen, it's for free and you can just ladda ner det. You can just download it for your school or for your library as an addition to the book itself. So that's how we've been planning the marketing towards schools and libraries and children. So it's easy and not expensive to be able to do this, to help the children out there to enjoy reading and getting closer to more knowledge of history. Michelle, I think we're going to have the children here now and let them ask you questions, and just feel free, and I will give you the microphone and you can ask anything you would like to know about Michelle Paver's characters, Hylas and Pyrrha. And who would like to go first?
And if you want to ask in Swedish,
you want to go?
It's up to you.
You may ask in Swedish, and I can translate the best I can to Michelle Paver. Tell me your name in the microphone.
My name is Elizabeth,
Hello,
and I
Elizabeth.
wonder, in Wolf Brother, what is the name of Turak's father?
What is the name of Torak's father?
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously, I know his name, and I'm not going to tell you.
No!
And I have never written it down, so even if I got squashed by a bus or eaten by a bear, you wouldn't be able to find out.
That's mean.
I know it's mean, but there's got to be some mystery. You never find out everything. Nice try, Elizabeth. Very nice try.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Oh, and I should say, if anyone's keen on writing, if you like writing stories as well, you can ask about that. You can ask anything. Is it lady over there? Yeah?
Yes. Tell me your name and your question.
My name is Isolde.
Isolde.
I wonder what inspired you to write Wolf Brothers from the beginning?
What inspired me to write Wolf Brother from the beginning? Very early, when I was a baby in Africa, my very first memory is a big Alsatian dog, a wolf-like dog, who was very nice to me. When I was probably your age, a little bit younger, I wanted a wolf. And my parents didn't give me a wolf. I lived in London. Then much later, when I was grown up, I met a bear in America, a big black bear with her two little babies. And I was here, the bear, you're the bear, okay? And very, very close. And she didn't like me being so close, so she was very aggressive. And I was terrified. And I managed to talk to her to calm her down, but that stayed in my mind. So those things all together came together. And I'd always been keen on the Stone Age. I liked to live in the past, and I tried it when I was little. So all of that came together, kind of mysterious. Good question.
Can I ask one more?
Okay.
Was it easy writing Wolf Brothers? I mean, the whole story?
No. Writing is really hard. I mean, the research is terrific fun. You know, meeting a wolf is great fun. Swimming with dolphins is fantastic. Then what happens, it's when you write an essay, you have a blank page, don't you? Let me show you. Here's the beginning of a chapter in book 6 of the Torak books. This is what it looks like. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Coffee stain, you know. Real mess. Then I type it up onto a very old computer. More scribbling. To to make it more exciting, to make it more interesting, I rewrite 30 or 40 times. So, yeah, wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but it was sometimes it's so real that I can see Wolf.
It was fun.
Sometimes it's fun. Great questions. Thank you, Isolde.
But it's so worth it.
Yes.
You really bring stories to life, really.
Thank you.
Really.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's one.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Have you thought about selling the movie? Have you thought about selling the movie rights for a book?
Yes, I have. In fact, I did sell the movie rights to the Wolf books to Hollywood, and they worked on it for a few years. But wolves are bad actors. You know, you can't train a wolf. This one, she doesn't do what I say. She just says, "Hello, Michelle," and then she goes off. So it's very, very difficult. And so eventually they said, "Oh, this is too difficult." I said, "Yeah, okay." Another company is interested. So maybe we'll get a film. You'll find out on my website. If I know, I'll put it on my website. But it's a good question. I don't want to make a film because it's too expensive, and I want to write books. But it would be great if they could make a good film. Yeah.
We want to give a gift from you.
Oh,
A gift to you from 16.
thank you. Wow. This looks amazing. Mind out, yes. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Oh, my goodness, it's all sort of... And I get daggers as well. Thank you.
What is this? Tell us. What are you giving Michelle as a gift? Tell me. Du får prata svenska, absolut. Berätta nu vad ni har gjort här i klassen som gåva till Michelle.
Det är en bok som vi har skrivit. Eller alltså, vi har skrivit brev
Yeah.
och tankar om boken.
Uh-huh. Oh, fantastic.
Och sen har vi ritat bilder.
Look, gorgeous. Dolphins. Fantastic. Oh, and you've done it in English. That's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I'm going to... Oh, wow. Yes, and here he's got the arrow in his arm. That's the first line of the book when he's wandering along with the arrow in his arm. That's really brilliant. Oh, yes, these are gorgeous and very accurate dolphins. I like the fact they're very accurate. And I get 2 daggers. Do I? Are these for me or just to show me? No. These are gifts. Fantastic. I will put these on my desk when I'm writing. And this is an amulet, yeah? This is a good luck charm. That's so great. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Thank you. I'll really treasure those.
Tack så fantastiskt mycket. Va? Det här kommer
Well
hon
done
bli
you.
så rörd.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Oh, we've got some more questions.
Yes, we got some more questions. Okay, who wants to start? You want to start?
I'll put these over
Hello,
here.
my name is Arvid.
Yes. Hello, Arvid.
I got a question for you. How did you feel when you swim with dolphins?
How did I feel when I swam with dolphins? Well, it happened twice. The first time, it was a tame dolphin. It was in Florida, so I could get really close to him. Really strange. They are strange creatures because they look like they're smiling, but it's not a smile. It's just the way their mouth is made. And this dolphin was going, "Ay, ay, 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 ay," but the sound was coming out of the top of his head. So that was strange. And then I went to the sea in the Atlantic with wild dolphins. And when I was swimming, when I put my head under the water, I couldn't see them, but I could hear the clicks, really noisy clicks, because they're trying to find out, they send out sound, and then they're trying to find out what I look like. And then suddenly one dolphin swam very close to me. This is a wild dolphin, and he was coming to see me, to see what I looked like. And he swam, they're very, very fast. They hardly move their tail, but they're like a rocket, a torpedo. and he swam very close and looked me in the eye like I'm looking at you. And then he just sank into the sea and disappeared.
Cool.
And I wanted to go after him. I was sorry, I was sad. I wanted to be with him, but I couldn't. So it was very mysterious, and I wanted to put some of that in the friendship with Hylas and the dolphin.
Yeah.
It was mysterious. Has anyone here swum with dolphins? Anyone? Ah, okay. There we are. So did you find it mysterious as well, or strange? Or no? You see, that's everybody is different, you know, but they are amazing creatures, aren't they?
Did you have fun when you swam with them?
Yes, I did. Although, you see, when I'm swimming, when I'm doing the research, I'm Hylas.
Yeah.
And so I'm really thinking, I'm not thinking about, oh, am I having fun? Afterwards, I think, that was amazing. But at the time, I'm thinking, I'm Hylas, this is the Bronze Age, dolphins are sacred, because to the Greeks, dolphins were sacred. So I'm thinking of all that. Plus, I don't have a notebook, so I'm trying to think, to remember. So there's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
that's a great question, actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Let me just put that up. Who else? Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Melker.
Merka, of course, I've signed your book, yes.
How did you get the idea that you wanted to write a new series set in the Bronze Age?
How did I get the idea? You know, I got the idea when I was writing book 5 of the Torak books, because writing is hard.
Yeah.
It's much easier to stare out the window and think of another story. Much easier. So I was staring out the window, and in my head I saw this boy in a boat, just like the bit I read. I didn't know his name. I just knew he was in the Mediterranean. I knew he was very tough. He was a survivor, and I wanted to tell his story. I wanted him to survive, and that's how it started. Because I loved the Greek myths, the stories, when I was your age, and so I thought, oh yes, I still want to stay in the past, but this is a slightly different time. So that's how it started.
Amazing.
Thank you. Great question as well. Got a question there? Yeah.
Hello,
Hello,
my name is Jonathan,
Jonathan. Hi.
and I wonder how long did it take to write this book?
How long did it take? It takes me about a year to write each book. Research. A lot of it is in libraries, you know, and then climbing volcanoes or swimming with dolphins, and you know. And then the bit I described, the boring bit, you know, just writing, and then the rewriting. I counted it. It's 1,000 hours. Each book takes about 1,000 hours, because I record how many hours I do it. So yeah, it takes a long time. And maybe it takes you only a day or two to read. And that's the point. It takes me a year, and then you maybe a couple of days, which is great. That's what I want. So yeah,
Thank you.
that's a pleasure, Jonathan.
Hey, my name is
Hey.
Vera.
Sorry, what was your name?
Vera?
Vera. Yeah.
Why do you just write fantasy books?
Why do I just write fantasy? Well, just to be argumentative, to me they're reality. They're just a different reality. I always set books in the past. I've never written a book in the present, and I don't know why. You know, authors are not very good at explaining why. They just know that they do. And they think, yes, I want to write a story about a boy and a wolf. Or I want to write a story about a boy in the Bronze Age and a girl in the Bronze Age. I don't really know why. But I think if you make me answer, which you do, it's because in the past, the deep past, people were much closer to nature. There wasn't people and then the nature. It was all the same. And animals had power. You know, the dolphin is sacred. It has power. There's going to be a lion in the second book. How do I say that in Swedish? Leon, thank you. And a falk in the third book. Well, the lion and the falk will be throughout the books. they're powerful animals and they're mysterious, and it's really fun writing from their point of view. I'm a lion at the moment at home. It's great, you know, and all that. You can do that in the past because they were closer to nature. I think that's why I do it. It's just really fun, and there's magic. You see, it's harder to have magic in the present. I know you can, Harry Potter, yes, but I like to be in the past. Not quite sure why. Yes, you've been wanting a question for a long time.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Alva.
Alva, hi.
Why have Hylas a care animal like the dolphin?
Why has Hylas, I'm sorry?
An animal who help him.
Why does Hylas have an animal to help him? Well, partly because I really love animals, and I have always, you know, when you're writing, you can make things happen that you want to happen in real life. And I've always wanted to be friends with a wild animal. And I want an animal who's going to really help Hylas. So if I had, I don't know, a cat is no good in a fight, you know? A cat's going to wander off. A dolphin is cleverer, and he's going to help. So I choose the right kind of animal. Also, in my stories, I tell part of the story from the animal's point of view. And it's really fun being a dolphin. You know, it is. It's just amazing. It's fun being a lion as well, because they're very different from wolves, you know. And it was great fun being a wolf. So it's just fun, and I hope it makes it exciting for the reader as well. I mean, that's the aim. All of this is just to make you feel you're in it. That's the point. That's a pleasure. Alma. Yeah. Yeah, we're just about to throttle someone.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Adam.
Alan? Is that right? Alan.
And did you get any scar with animals?
Did I get any?
Scar with animals.
Any scars? No. And it's really annoying because I would love to say, oh, that's a scar from a wolf. A wolf once, I mean, the wolves are very, very nice to me. But once, two wolves, they were sisters, and they both wanted me to pat them. And so they had a fight, you know, sisters do sometimes. And one of them, by mistake, hit me on the mouth, and that swelled up a bit. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll get a scar. I'll tell you one thing, I nearly got a scar on a Greek island the other day. I was hitting a piece of stone to try to make a knife, see if I could do it like Hylas. And like Hylas, instead of hitting the stone, I hit my hand. Blood everywhere. It was really stupid, you know. So there we go. But no scars yet. But I hope. That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked me that. But yeah.
Hello, my name is Moltas.
Moltas, hi.
How long it took to do the first Wolf Brothers?
How long did it take? Well, it took a year for Wolf Brother, and then a year for all of the other books. So it was 6 years in all. But the strange thing was, I had the story planned in a week, 1 week, just to have the basic idea. It felt like I was discovering it, not writing it. So yeah, that's kind of a good story. Oh, yes, we've got one.
Well, thank you.
I think there's somebody here.
Yes. Okay, you go. There's somebody over there as well.
And there's somebody over there as well, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Viggo.
Viggo?
Yes.
Hi. Hey.
I think when you're writing the books like Wolf Brother, are you writing all the time or?
Yeah. Am I writing all the time? Mostly. Yeah. I mean, I try to write 6 hours a day, and so most of the time when I'm awake, I'm in that world. Sometimes it's a little bit less because I'm here. I've got my notes for book 2 in my hotel room, but I'm busy, so I'm not writing. But yes, I do try to, because then I stay in the story. So that's a good question, because you do need to stay in the story to keep the reader in the story. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a pleasure. That's a pleasure.
It is so wonderful to hear all your questions.
They are
it's very
great questions.
obvious that it's such an interesting occupation to have, to work as a writer. Isn't that very special?
It is special. It's quite difficult. I think if you ask writers, they'll say, well, it's quite fun, but I mean, you write because you have to write.
Yes.
I write because I'm miserable when I'm not writing. So I'll be in a really bad mood at the end of this visit to Sweden because I won't have written. And so I'll need to get back into the story.
How many books have you planned for the
I've got
Bronsdolken?
5 books planned, and I know that's.
Is Heilas going to be okay?
I'm not telling you that. I mean, I can tell you that Heilas and Pyrrha are going to be throughout the stories. They're going to go to Crete. They're going to go to Egypt. The lion is going to grow up. The dolphin will come back. But I
just can't wait.
I'm not telling you anything else.
We have to wait for another year. We have one more question here. Yes. I think that will kind of wrap it up. Let me see.
If you could just tell us a little bit short, what happens to Torak and Ren after the last book? Do they grow up together and get kids, or what happens?
Oh, now this is going back to the Torak books. We left them at the end, going off into the sunset. Well, they are together. They are a couple. I'm not going to tell you what happens because I wanted to leave it for you to imagine what happens. I think that's really important.
If you can say what you imagined.
No. You're very good. You're very persuasive. But I don't want to get into that because I really think the story ended just where I wanted it to. And I really do. I created the possibility of the forest on the other side of the mountains. And I think Torak needs a rest. So he needs to get away from things. But I'm afraid I'm not going to tell you more of that. I really want it to stay in your minds. And you can go with it. But they will be together. And that's a change. Because, I planned the story. And all the way through writing those books, I thought, no, Torak is a loner. He's on his own. He's going to have to leave Ren behind. And as I was writing the last book, Ren was saying to me, no way. I'm going with him. He needs me. So I had to change. And I'm really glad I did. So that much I've given you. But can I just say one final thing? Because I'm going to be signing some books. And there was something I wanted to show you. And it's going to save me time if I explain it now. Torak made weapons out of stone. And Heilas, because he's poor, he doesn't have bronze, he makes, to begin with, weapons out of stone. And this is something which you'll be able to handle. And this is really from Torak's time. So this is 6,000 years old. It's an axe head.
That's amazing, yes.
Yeah.
Till en yxa, alltså en del av en yxa som är 6,000 år gammal.
So this is the point. It would be on a stick. It's made of flint. Furstein?
Flinta. Yes.
Flint, okay. And you want the size of the axe to fit the person. And the way you measure it, and you can do that afterwards, is the axe head should be from there to there. From there to there. That's the way people who make stone axe heads measure it. So you can see this is too small for me. But spookily, it fits quite a lot of 12-year-olds' hands. so maybe you can measure your hand. But this is something Finkedin could have made. I can't make this because it takes years. It's really difficult to learn. But it's beautifully made, and it's 6,000 years old. So I just thought, since you've all asked great questions, it's quite nice for you to be able to hold something which is really old, and which Heilas could also have used. So there we go.
Well, thank you for bringing that and showing us that. I think we're running out of time. Yeah. There's some time now for you to sign. I know all your children have your own copy of the book. Yes. And you would like for Michelle to sign your books. So we're going to do that over there. And for the rest of you, of course, who are interested in the new book. Thank you so much for coming here.
That's a great pleasure. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.